Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I have had a number of comments on videos asking me to share videos on this channel as to how I manage my money, how I save money, what I do with my money, and of course those requests are coming from the fact that I used to have a second channel, Amelia Rose Talks Finance, and I used to share a lot more business and finance tips and advice on that channel. So I thought today I would share a video with you on how I save and manage my money for my luxury handbags, but really this is how I save and manage my money for anything. So no matter what it is that I'm planning or next project I have, these are ways that I will manage and sort my money, although there's a few of these that are specific in relation to shopping. So let's get started. And number one, and I swear by this, I don't think there is anything more important in my financial setup, and I'm not a financial advisor, this is just how I do it, but I don't think there's anything that's more important in how I have set up my money and managed my money and put it together than having separate accounts for separate things and having automated payments going between those accounts. So when I get paid, when I get my salary, although I do own a business, I own a company, I do get a salary from that and I take money from that to live on. I do not just spend from the company and business money because that would not make sense and would not be a good way to do things. Keep that money separate. So our money goes in, my wages or salary goes in, my husband's salary goes in to one main account. And what we do from that account is our bills account. So the account it goes into first is where our mortgage and our bills all come out of. Also, we have automated payments from that account going into different investments, going into our children's account, going to because there's two children, going to different places. So as the money is not all muddled up and it's not just sitting there doing nothing. The money that needs to go to different investments and different accounts goes, and out of that money as well, there is also an amount of money that goes into one of my personal accounts and an amount of money that goes into one of his personal accounts. And those are for holidays, spending, whatever we are doing that is personal to us. Because I go away with my friends every year, my husband goes away with his friends every year, and that means that there are different accounts doing all of those things and fulfilling all of those needs, and the money doesn't get messy. So I am never spending money on a handbag, for example, that is meant to be in an investment account, in my children's account, paying one of our bills used for a family holiday, because it's all separate. And to me that works, it keeps it very, very clear. And another thing I absolutely swear by is automated payments between those accounts. So it is not left to us every month to think about, right, well, we need to transfer money into this account and we need to move money over into that account and we need to save for this and that's meant to be for an investment. No, don't leave it to chance that you do that and that you decide that there's something more pressing for your money. Set it up automatically, so as when the money hits, it automatically goes out to all of those different accounts. That's basically a feeder account. It goes out to all of those different accounts and everything is serviced and nothing gets missed. Number two is that I set myself goals and I use visual aids. This comes from a long time ago. So I am in a more fortunate financial position now. I did not used to be. I do not come from money. I come from a single parent who worked her beep off to keep myself and my brother going. I obviously went through university. I had a lot of student debt. I set up a business. I had a lot of debt from setting up a business. I had a lot of personal debt from just not earning enough money to live. So I had to learn to manage my money and I had to learn to get on top of it, because at one point I was drowning in debt. I had to get rid of that debt, service that debt, and also set myself up to be able to manage my money better and to not make such a mess. So what I do, and I still do, but it comes from way back then, is I set myself goals and I use charts or visual aids for those goals. So for example, if I wanted to have in a certain account £10,000 saved for a holiday, for example, I will use a colour in visual aid. I either will draw one myself and it will be very amateurish and it will be a bottle or it will be a chart, or you will see them that you can buy on Etsy. I don't know if you're trying to save money if you should be buying these, even though they're probably not that expensive, but why are you buying something you don't need to buy? Draw it, take pen and paper And either if you're trying to save a certain amount, draw little circles that you, as you work along, if you've saved £100, £200, £300, you colour them in, or a bottle type chart where you colour up the bottle as you're reaching your goal. I find those motivating. I find that they keep me on track. And I also find that if I go to spend my money or put my money somewhere else, I look back at my little visual aid. I'm a geek. I like to colour it in. I like to mark it off. It stops me being wasteful with my money, or it stops me spending money on something that wasn't as important as that goal. Put your goal, write your goal down on the chart so you can see it. Use visual aids if you want. Cut out pictures, print pictures, put them on the board so you see what it is you're working towards. That will help keep you motivated, and it'll help your money going on other things. If it's a handbag, take a picture. Put it up there so as you know what you're working for. It'll stop you buying that other handbag that you saw in River Island for £30, but really you want that bag and that money should go towards that. Keeps you focused, and I still do this. Even though I am not in the same position and probably don't need to be as strict, this works for me. Number 3, don't just set a goal, set a roadmap. Because a goal that does not have a path towards it is really just a wish or a dream. If you don't have a way to achieve it, it's just out there. It's not actually going to get there if you don't know what you're going to do and what steps you're going to take. So when you're putting up your board and you've got your goal on it and you're doing your visual aid, work out how you're going to get there. Work out what your roadmap is, what you're going to save, how you're going to invest. Saving and investing are two different things. Saving for something, investing in something, they're different. Make sure that you are putting your money in the right place. Make sure you know how you're going to get there, what you're going to save each month, things you're not going to do or sacrifice so you can put that money into your saving pot. Are you going to clear out your wardrobe and have an eBay sale? How you're going to get there and what you're not going to spend on. Have your roadmap to make sure your goal becomes a reality. Next is verbalize your goal. Somebody that you trust who can hold you accountable. Because if you have this goal to yourself and you don't tell anybody, if you skip a month or you don't put your money in or you don't get towards it, does it matter? Because who knows? Who's judging you? Judgment sometimes can help. Who's going to hold you accountable? So say it out loud, make it real, put it into the universe, manifest it. So as it's out there and that you know and somebody you trust knows what you're working towards and can help you keep on track and hold you accountable. Next, number 5, and as I said, I'm not a financial advisor, this is just what I do. I set my accounts to monthly interest payments rather than annually. And you will have to work this out as to what works best for you because it will depend on how much you are investing or saving. If you put your accounts to pay you monthly interest, that allows the interest to compound. So if you are, for example, putting £1,000 into a bank account and that bank account is going to earn you £10 per month. If you put it at monthly, you will put £1,000 in and at the end of month 1, if it pays monthly, you will have £1,010. So the interest you're earning in month 2 is you're earning the interest on £1,010. You're compounding the interest, you're earning interest on the interest. So as if you keep adding it in each month, the amount that's attracting interest continues to grow. Why I say is you have to work this out for yourself as to what is going to earn you the most money is that some banks will offer you a slightly higher interest rate if you choose the annual option. And they do that because they're not paying the compounding interest and they're keeping your interest in their account for longer. And that benefits them. So some will give you a slightly better interest rate to encourage you to take the annual option, but work out what you would be getting monthly and if the compounding of the interest is actually going to be more in your benefit. Generally with my accounts, they're mostly set up to be monthly interest, so as I get the benefit of compounding interest. Compounding interest is your friend if you're trying to save or invest money. Number 6, be selective with the accounts that you use to save your money. The interest rates, even though the Bank of England certainly interest rate has increased a lot of the banks didn't pass that on. And there is a great variety between different accounts on the interest rates that banks will pay you. Some will still be paying 0.000 something, especially if it's a current account and an easy access account. But there are accounts out there, even easy access accounts, that are paying decent amounts of interest. Certainly I have an easy access account that means I can get my money whenever I want it without any penalty that is earning over 4% interest. So you need to look where you are and look at the different accounts and be selective on what you use. Some of them will also offer bonds that if you put the money in for a 6-month period, as long as you know that you won't need it in 6 months because you normally can't take them out and it's a set amount, you will earn an even better interest rate. So be selective where your money is. Don't leave it all generally just sitting in an account that's earning 0.000. There are normally better options, even if it's money you need to be able to access. Sometimes people are scared of these because a lot of these accounts you need to lock your money in, but there are easy access accounts that pay much better rates, so be selective where you put your money. Number 7, and a harsh reality for me on how I afford luxury, and we're trying to keep this, or how I save for luxury, we're trying to keep this real, is that I have the benefit of multiple streams of income. And that makes it easier to save for anything, no matter what you're doing. Obviously, if you have one income source and it's huge, then this won't really matter to you. But for me, having multiple sources of income make it a lot easier. So I have my main source of income that comes from my business. I then have a number of other sources of income. Added to those now, I obviously have YouTube and I earn money from YouTube. I earn money from AdSense when you guys watch these videos. I earn money from any sponsorships that I agree. I put affiliate links in my description box. If you buy something through that, it doesn't cost you anything, but I get a small percentage back. All of those have now also added into my pre-existing streams of income. So it means that I'm not trying to make one income stream, one wage effectively, do everything. It's not trying to cover all the pots. So that does make it easier. And my YouTube money, all of the 3 things that come from YouTube or streams that come from YouTube, I didn't have them before, so we don't really include those into our setup of where savings and investments etc. goes. So they all now go into a different interest earning account, and linked to that account there is an easy access account, and then there's a savings bit, but you can get it in and out. It's not locked in. It's not a huge amount. It's not that it's into a bond or anything like that, but it's still in an account that's working for me and earning me money. I'm a great believer that if you're going to work hard to earn your money, once you earn it, if you put it somewhere, the money should be working for you. So having these different streams of income as to how I save and afford and manage money for luxury makes it easier, and that's just me being completely honest with you. Number 8, if you can manage your money and you won't get carried away, a rewards credit card can be a very good idea. Not only does a credit card build your credit rating and can benefit you that way, you can get credit cards with 0% say, but if you can trust yourself not to use a credit card to build up debt, there's different types of rewards and different accounts. But if you can manage one of these, it's a good option to be earning something for what you're already spent. Number 9, I also use cashback apps. And I know some people are against these because you put your details in the cookies and you maybe get spam in your emails or whatever. I have to say I haven't had a bad experience with them personally, and I do use them. I use GOcashback, I use Quid Quo, and I use Top Cashback. And what I do is if I am buying something anyway, obviously you don't buy something just to get the cash back. That would be kind of counterproductive. But if I'm buying something online anyway, and it's something that I'm going to go and purchase, I will go through the cashback app if there's cashback for that site. So when I go and purchase what I'm purchasing, I am getting a little bit of a kickback. So I will pay what I'm buying anyway, it doesn't cost me any more money, and then the cashback will come back into my cashback account and it will build up, and I let it build up. I don't take it out monthly. The last time I took out from Top Cashback, I think I had over £800 in it, and it builds up on what you're buying. A little bit of cashback, adding and adding and adding, and then when you withdraw it, that's money that you've got back from what you were already shopping, and I choose to use them, personal choice, but I do use them. Number 10 is if you can shop, especially if you buy these sorts of things in a department store that has a rewards program or loyalty points. If you shop in Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Dior, in the standalone stores, even though you're spending lots, they obviously don't have reward schemes, they don't have loyalty points. if you can shop in one of those stores that's based within a department store, you will be able to get the points for everything that you're buying. Brown Thomas in Dublin, where I shop, does this. So there is Chanel, Dior, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, all within Brown Thomas. And anything that I buy in those stores, I get points on my Brown Thomas card, and they then become an amount of money that you can spend in store. Harrods do this as well. They have a pretty good reward scheme. If I lived in London and shopped in London more often, I would probably shop mostly in Harrods, because you're getting your points back and then you're earning, and you can use that towards more purchases. And I don't think I will ever lose this. Although I'm in a different position than I used to be, I still have that side of me that wants my money to work and wants to earn on what I'm earning and wants to get something back and wants to put my money to use. So I would still use, if I was in London Harrods, I certainly do use it in Brown Thomas. And as I shop, I then am getting points back, and that points equates to an amount of money. If I just grab this little bag, this is the Louis Vuitton Nano Alma. I bought this last year when I had quite an amount of points sitting on my Brown Thomas card. I think I ended up paying, I said it in the video at the time, but I can't completely remember, but I think I ended up paying maybe like 700-ish pounds for this. I think I had about 500 pounds or euro on my Brown Thomas loyalty points, and then when I bought this, the points came off the price of this and I paid the difference. So I think I remember that I got this for a really, really good price because my points were coming off it. The next bag that I think I will buy, I have a good amount of points sitting on my Brown Thomas card, because the good thing about a department store is it has everything. It has your Jo Malone in it, it has your makeup in it, it has your perfume in it, it has clothes in it, it has trainers in it. So it's not just when you're buying a big thing like this. Whatever I buy in Brown Thomas, my points are adding up on it. Obviously, you will get a bigger jump when you buy something like what's behind me, but that is always adding up. And I have a good amount of points sitting on my card at the minute. So I'm thinking of a bag I may buy, because the bag is going to cost me so much less now because I have so much put towards it from my Brown Thomas points. So if you can shop somewhere that has loyalty points or a scheme like that, or a reward scheme, I think it's a no-brainer. And the last thing that I do is I collect my cash. Now, let me caveat this, because I don't want to see in somebody's video down the line, oh, she has to save every penny. She has to run around the house gathering up pennies to be able to buy these bags. She's putting her family at risk because she's saving her pennies. No, that is not the case. But I have always saved cash. I have a bit of an addiction to money boxes. I love money boxes. This one sits behind me down there. And the reason that this one sits in here, I'll just give you a shake. That's the cash that's in there. So when I come up here with a bag that I've been using, because quite often I will just have coins in the bottom of the bag or in my card holder, and I come up here to change the bag or go to the bag that I was using to get the next bag, and there'll be coins in it. When there are coins in it, this money box sits in here. So I just take the coins out of the card holder or out of the bag and I put them in here. And that's how we get the rattle. And they save in there because they drive me nuts in my bag and my purse. I don't really need them anymore. I even have apps on my phone for most of the parking places that I would be parking in. It's not that often I need to have coins. I do need them for the locker in the gym, and I do need them for some things, but most often they go in here. These are all around my house. This one sits in here. This one has been emptied because it's empty. It says handbag fund. Isn't that pretty relevant for what we're talking about? This is another one that the money goes in and I save in it, and then that money all goes towards something. I have a number of these pots around my house that are breakable. This one has a little bit where you can empty it. There are a number downstairs that look like an egg like this, but you can't open them. You have to smash them. So my husband and I both put our change into those, and you smash them, and then we go and we buy whatever we need, or we put the money towards something. And I've always saved cash. And it's just a habit I've never got out of. And if you are saving it and you're not emptying it every week, not maybe as much now, I just see another one, 2 secs. There's another one sitting at that side of the room that says, keep calm and carry on shopping. These are very me. They're very designed towards the shopping, but I love them. That one's empty as well. But I suppose a lot of them are empty because since lockdown we don't use cash as much. But we put the money in, it adds up, and then that money goes towards something that you're planning to buy. And that works for me. It's, as I say, it is not, I have to save my pennies to buy a bag, because I've seen that misrepresented before. It's just another way that I save money, and it just makes sense for me. The cash would just be lying about and I would be spending it probably in silly things. Add it up, it goes towards something, and then it actually becomes a sizable amount, and that's another way that I save money. So these are 11 ways that I save money, for example, for a handbag, but for anything really that I'm looking to buy or I'm looking to put money together for. I hope this has been helpful for the people that requested it, and if you want any specific tips, although as I say, I'm not a financial advisor, entertainment purposes only, but if you want anything specifically answered, do let me know in the comment box. And if this has been helpful for you in any way, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing. And if you're not done with me yet, I'm going to leave another video for you on the screen to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.